What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Courtyard Shenanigans. I don't know why I'm laughing. But welcome to another episode of Courtyard Shenanigans with your boy Classy Ant. You know, I'm back. Every week I gotta come out with a new episode. You know, off the cuff like always. So I don't know where we gonna be going. I just know the title of it because it just came to my head when I was taking a shower. So, you know, I gotta get the classy tip of the week. And the classy tip of the week is don't change for anybody. Just be you. Be authentically you. Because like I always say, can't nobody be you like you. Don't let nobody come into your life and have you changing, you know, who you are. And, you know, you go back to your old ways. Just always be you. Don't let nobody change you. If they don't like you, then let them go. To the left, like my girl Beyonce said. To the left, to the left. Y'all a vest. It's an inside joke. Only my co-workers gonna get it. So at the end of the day, just be you. I know I've said this before, but I'm just big on just being myself. I can't stand when I see somebody who don't be they self. It just irritates me. I guess because I just work so long and so hard for me just to be myself. So I kind of get sad when I see other people putting on the front and not being themselves. So at the end of the day, just be you. Don't let nobody come into your life. Don't let nobody come in there and wreck ship. No, be you. If they don't like it, tell them to the left. Plain and simple, just be you. Because when you attract the people that needs to be around you. When you're not yourself, you attract the wrong kind of people. And you attract the people who ain't even themselves. So they got you questioning who you really are. No, be you. Don't care what nobody says or think about you. Because 9 times out of 10, what they saying and thinking about you ain't even about you. It's a reflection of them. So let them be insecure while you walk around here with your head held high, with your music blasting, not giving a care in the world about what anybody has to say or think about you, because guess what? You are you. And with that being said, let's get into this Courtyard. It's off the cuff like always. And the topic for this week is Epiphany. I had an epiphany. I have an epiphany. So let's get into it. All right, y'all, welcome to the Courtyard. So like I said, the topic of this episode, or the title of this episode is Epiphany. Because I was in the shower early. Now, mind you, I heard it was this song called Epiphany by Chrisette Michelle, and it was just playing in my head. I just ran across the video on Instagram. And I was like, this song is just stuck in my head. I was just like, why? This 2009 song is just stuck in my head. It's funny to me. And then as I was in the shower, I literally had an epiphany. So let me tell y'all what Google says the definition, my favorite, what I think is just the most upfront definition. So the definition for the word epiphany, which is straightforward to me, is a moment of sudden revelation or insight. And it has an example of like, a few years ago, I had an epiphany. I had an epiphany that I need to leave that person. I had an epiphany that, you know what, I'm tired of working here. Let me get another job. You know, I just want to use it in a sentence. And I literally had an epiphany about a couple things. And it's one thing that's really been bothering me for the past month. And I'm just like, Lord, just give me some direction on it, because I'm just confused. You know, I'm just so confused. But yeah, I had an epiphany, and I was like, you know what? I was in the shower, I stumped my feet, I said, epiphany. I said, that is the episode, because I had a couple epiphanies. I got an epiphany. I just like the word too. Now, I remember when I was watching Monday Night Raw in 2008. It's a wrestling show, and Shawn Michaels was like, I have an epiphany too. I don't know, that just stuck out to me 15 years later. It's still in my head. And I had an epiphany, and I just feel like, you know, we all have that moment where we just be like, you know what, enough is enough. You know what, I do not need this, okay? What my girl Nene say, this is not my life. I don't do that. I've been there, I've done that. I'm not doing that with anybody else. You know, like, that's my epiphany. I've been there and I've done that. This is not my life. This is your life. And we've all had that moment. Even if we work, you know, you're like, you know what? I do not need this. I'm not even finna deal with this. I'm gonna leave that where it is, and I'm just gonna let it be. You know, whatever the situation is, whether it's at work, at home, family, whatever, church, whatever. We all have an epiphany. And I had an epiphany early. Now I'm not gonna tell y'all what the epiphany is because as time goes on, I'll feel more comfortable sharing it with y'all. But I had an epiphany. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm watching Nene and I'm cracking up at this woman. Everything she does is funny, but I'm sorry. Anyways, back to the epiphany part. I had an epiphany and I was like, you know what? What am I doing? I work so hard to get out of certain things, and I work so hard to get what I needed from the Lord from certain things, and I started to get it, but then I feel like this is what a distraction came in. I feel like someone came back or something was sent. I don't know. This is just what I'm thinking because I feel like it's making me want to go back to my old ways. And I feel like it's a distraction, and I have definitely been distracted since the beginning of freaking July. Since the beginning of July, I have definitely been distracted, So I'm finding myself, my spirit is almost feeling vexed. Like it's even hard for me to pray sometimes. And I pray, but I feel like it's a surface prayer. I feel like it's not even leaving out the ceiling, And I had an epiphany. I was like, no. Because I remember at times I would pray and my body would feel like it's literally on fire. Sometimes I would pray and end up somewhere where I could be praying in my room on the bed and end up on the floor and I didn't even know how I got on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had those prayers in a while. Sometimes I would pray and it's like the Lord was driving for me. I can't do these loud cars driving by. Anywho, it's like the Lord was driving for me because by a good maybe 5-10 minutes, it's like, dang, how did I make it to work? I was in deep prayer, and I had an epiphany. I was like, I don't want my prayer life to be, I don't want the things that God, and this is for y'all too. None of us should want the things that God has in store for us. Yes. To be dismantled by God himself because of our disobedience, because of the things that we are allowing into our life and back into our life, to where, especially when you let them back into your life. Because it's like, look, I got rid of you the first time. You weren't supposed to be here the first time. How in the world are you supposed to be here in the second time? And you don't want to be off. What's they saying? You're going to be off much worse this time around than the first time. You should have just left it alone. Nobody wants to be that way. I know I sure don't. But sometimes it's hard to let go of certain things and certain people, especially when you want them in your life, especially when you kind of desire attention from certain things. But then you have to be like, wait a minute, I have an epiphany. I don't need it from you. I can get it from somebody else. I can get it from somebody who really does. And this is the thing. You gotta have it. This is what I'm telling y'all. It's for everybody. You got to be around people that value you and your presence. If you got somebody in your life, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, family, whatever, if they're not, let me tell you something. Everybody is a prize. Everybody should feel like they're a prize. Let me say that. Every last person should feel like they're a prize. You don't let anybody treat you as if you're second best, third best, 10th best, 100 best, 100 best, anything. You need to be confident in yourself that, take yourself off the table. You don't get to eat this meal. You don't get to, no, that doesn't sound right. You don't get to enjoy me. So guess what? I'm going to remove myself from the table because you're not treating me like royalty like I think I am. I know I'm worthy. I know I'm royalty. I know what I deserve. I know who I am in the Lord. I'm still finding out who I am in the Lord. And I'm not saying I'm better than you, but when it comes down to me and you or whoever, I'm a little bit closer to the Lord than you might be, and it's not an arrogant thing. So I'm gonna cling on to Him instead of you. And some of y'all need to cling on to the Lord instead of clinging on to people that don't like you and you don't even like. You clinging on to people that behind your back they like you in your face, but behind your back they dogging you out. Y'all clinging on to people who talking to you on the phone caking with you, telling you how much they loving you, and texting they side piece at the same time, telling you, I'ma see you at 12 o'clock. I'll be there in about an hour. But they on the phone with you, oh yeah, I love you, but I'm about to go to bed because I'm tired. No, they finna go to bed in somebody else's bed. You know? Y'all need to start having these epiphanies, you know. You are the prize. You better know. Let me tell you something. I'm not arrogant. I'm not cocky. I'm just confident. And it's my mama's fault that I'm so confident. It's my grandma's fault, my aunt, my auntie's fault, my other people's fault that I'm so confident. And I'm glad, because when I was a kid, I didn't have nobody. And other people, they just grow up differently. You know, their mamas call them ugly, tell them that they ain't gonna be squat. There, a whole bunch of mean stuff. But my mama wasn't like that. My mama told me every day, son, you are so handsome. My mama let me know every day that I looked good. My grandma let me know every day that I was good. She spoiled me. My grandma spoiled me. Okay, if she was still here today, she'll still spoil me. My auntie let me know. She lets all of us know, but of course, I'm just gonna focus on me. My nephew is handsome. My nephew look at my nephew. All that kind of stuff. So you have to know that you're the prize. You have to know what you bring to the table. And I'm the whole meal. I'm the whole course, entree. You know what I'm saying? I'm the all-you-can-eat buffet. And I ain't talking about Golden Corral. Because Golden Corral ain't that good no more. Okay? You got to know you the prize. You got to sit back and be like, wait a minute. What am I doing? Really, you being with me is a favor. Because me being with you, I'm lowering my stocks. And it ain't about being arrogant. It ain't about being cocky. It's about confidence. What Beyonce saying, ego? Some call it arrogance. I call it confidence. That's what I call it. That's my girl. You know what I'm saying? You got to know who you are in this world, in the spirit, in God's eyes and other people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? You better. I had an epiphany. Come on. Y'all gotta have these moments of revelation sometimes. But we y'all be people, and am I gonna say me? I'm kind of getting out of that, but I'm just gonna say y'all because I've dealt with it. We be too busy trying to please people who don't even need to be pleased. If anything, they need to be pleasing us. But it's when you start to find yourself, you're confident. Let me tell you something. I'm not finna be around nobody to try to make me feel like I'm not worthy. Let me stand up for this, because I don't like this. I work so hard to be who I am, to keep my confidence, to keep my grace, to keep being humble. I be playing when I be walking around here talking about I'm the best and I'm the this and I'm the that. I am confident, but I'm not arrogant. I'm very humble. I always want to remain humble, because anytime I was unhumble, God said, all right, you're getting out of hand. Let me snatch you back. Anytime I've ever gotten unhumble, it happened twice. God had to snatch me back. So trust and believe, I'm always going to remain humble. But I'm just I'm very sure of who I am. I'm very sure of what I bring to the table. People tell me all the time, and I don't like really saying it because I feel like if I say it, it's going to be taken away from me. But people tell me all the time, oh, you're so funny. Oh, you give good advice. You really be speaking the truth. You really be helping me. I have people that send me texts be like, wow, you really helped me with my confidence. You really helped me, with, not how to read people, but how to deal with people. You've really helped me with so much. And I love those compliments. I'm very humble when it comes to those compliments, because that's what I want people to see. I just want to help people, But sometimes, some people, let me tell you something, help the people that want to be helped. And I feel like I'm jumping everywhere, but this episode is just off the fly, so just like the rest of them. You got to help people that want to be helped. Seriously. Because some of these people don't want to be helped. Some of these people want to be a whore. Sorry. Some of these people like the dysfunction that they're in. And it's kind of sad and it's weird, because I'm like, who likes dysfunction? But some people like it. You got to sit back and have that epiphany too. You be like, you know what? I had to wash my hands with somebody. With one of my friends that I've been knowing. I haven't washed my hands of them. but I'm washing my hands of a certain situation with them. It's like, because I've given you advice and I've told you this and I've told you that, but you're just not listening. So I'm not going to wash my hands of you, but I'm going to wash my hands of that. And I'm going to let you, when you decide to, get it together, then, you'll get it together. But sometimes we just can't be wasting our breath on people who just ain't willing to listen. Some people just like the stuff they do, and it's like, how do you like this? But they like it. It's things that we might like, and somebody else might be like, why do you like this? We just move at our own pace at the end of the day, so it just is what it is, But I just been having so many epiphanies about things and situations and stuff that's just going on in my life right now, and I'm just like, Anthony, this is your flesh. This is your flesh. The Bible says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak, and my flesh is weak right now. It truly is. And this is my podcast, so I'm being real. This is my podcast. Okay, so I have to vent, and I'm helping somebody out here, I hope. My spirit is weak. But my spirit, my flesh is weak, but my spirit is still here. So I know not to cross the line. I know to maybe even get close to the line, but I better not even put my pinky toe over the line. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna lose my pinky toe. I need my pinky toe. So we have to be careful. We need to have an epiphany. We need to have a divine revelation. Before we get a divine snatch up from the Lord. Because when you get a divine snatch up from the Lord, it feels like your whole walls are tumbling down. Whew. Get them back together by the hairs of your chinny chin, okay? Because I'm still recovering from 2022. You heard what I'm saying? But it was a learning lesson. After all I've been through. And this is why I'm not going to downplay myself for nobody. And this is why anybody else should. If you've been through something for real that changed your mental and had your whole outlook on life, that had you scared at times, don't let nobody bring you down. And you're living proof that it gets better and you're happy. After all you've been through, this is a reflection of what peace and joy looks like. I dare not walk around here with my head high and a smile on my face. After everything that's been put in my mind and tormenting thoughts, please. That's my epiphany. You or not, what Beyonce say? You won't break my soul. You ain't gonna break my soul, baby. And I'm telling everybody. Oh yeah, everybody. But that's just the truth, Some people, you just gotta leave them where they are too as well. It doesn't matter who they are. Family, family, they be a trip. Family, friends, whoever. Leave them where they are. Like I said, they'll meet you. Look, if they really want to change, they'll meet you where you are. Just leave them where they are. Still show them grace. Still show them love. Eventually, they'll come around and they'll get it right. You know what I'm saying? So, I just, this episode is all about epiphany. Y'all just need to just sit back to yourself and just be like, what is it? What do I need to have a divine revelation on? What divine revelation do I need about this relationship, about this friendship, about this job, about this situation, about my finances, Too many. And really, if you really want to be real, everybody ain't having an epiphany because a lot of y'all don't like to be real with y'all selves. Like my mama said about 2 hours ago, you can't run from yourself. Come on. So many of y'all be running from yourself and you running from, it's like you're just running in a circle. It's like you just running in a circle. Like you're always going to take you with you everywhere. You're not going to just, you can't run from yourself. So y'all don't like, you have an epiphany, you got to be real with yourself. Cause that's what's wrong with people now. Y'all like to be real with others and keep it real with others, but you can't sit down and be real with yourselves. You can't sit down in your own thoughts and be like, you know what, maybe I am the problem. You know what, I did do this wrong. You know what, I was shady for that. You know what, I shouldn't have did that. No. Everybody like to point the finger, but like my old apostle said that my mama told me he used to say when I was a kid, the same crooked finger that you point turn it right back to yourself. Or what I learned in school is you could be pointing at one finger at somebody, but when you look under your hand, it's 3 more fingers pointing back at you. Put your hand down and focus on you and stop focusing on other people, because that's where the real change starts. You too busy focusing on other people and their flaws. You're not focusing on your flaws, and that's why that's why nothing in life has changed for you. If you want true change, work within yourself. It ain't your job to worry about what the next person is doing. It's none of your business. It is none of your concern. You focus on you and things will start to work out in your favor. But until then, nothing's gonna change for you. Nothing. It ain't spiritual warfare. Sometimes it is self-inflicted warfare. Sometimes the things that we go through is because we put ourselves in that situation. We put ourselves in that place and we want God to come and save us, but it's your time. You got to get yourself out of this one. God is going to help you through, but God never told you to go this way in the first place. He told you to go left, but you went right, and now you want him to put you back where you're supposed to be. Well, you should have just went left in the first place. Self-inflicted warfare. That's what it is. It's not spiritual warfare. It's self-inflicted warfare, because you are not doing the things that you are supposed to do. You are not handling people the way that you are supposed to handle them. You're not handling your finances and things like that the way you're supposed to. So it's self-inflicted brokenness. It's self-inflicted warfare. It's self-inflicted stress. You are not the victim. Sometimes you are the oppressor. Sometimes you are the oppressor. You are oppressing other people, and that is your punishment. So when you do right by people, right things to be done to you. But until then, nothing's gonna change. That's for anybody. You gotta do right by people. You gotta do right by yourself. You gotta do right by your finances, anything. But it's hard to do right by people and yourself and your finances when you're too busy worried about other people's finances. You're too busy worried about how they treat other people. You're too busy worried about how they're handling things in their life. No. If you just mind your business, give yourself a moment to have an epiphany, then things will turn around and things will change. That's just the God honest truth. When you look at yourself and you focus on yourself and focus on your own flaws, that's when change comes. I have to be real with myself. I've had to admit that sometimes I was jealous of a certain person or of certain situations. Sometimes I felt like intimidated by other people. And the moment where I admitted that and I asked God to help me, I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm not intimidated by anybody, because I know what I bring to the table. And that's why everybody comes to my table. I don't go to everybody's table, because everybody ain't serving what Anthony High is serving. They ain't got what I got. They might have some good stuff, but they ain't got what I got at my table. I'm sitting at my table. You know what I'm saying? So the moment where I was at my table alone and I had to keep it real with God, and I had an epiphany and had to tell God, this is what I'm struggling with, then he gave me deliverance on things I need deliverance from. Anything that I struggled with, anything that I've ever struggled with, that I even had a hard time telling God, right now, God, I don't have no faith. I don't even know how to have faith right now because I'm struggling. I had to tell God that. The moment I told God that, my faith started to build. My prayer life started to change. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, we have to sit down and be real with ourselves. I might walk into everybody's table. I might walk by, oh, that look good. That looks good. I'm glad you're doing good. But I don't have to walk to nobody's table, because people walking to my table, they coming to me for advice. They coming to me asking me, how did you do this? How did you do that? They coming to me telling me how much they love me, how I make their day. That's what keeps me going. I don't give a hoot what nobody got to say. And none of y'all should either. You just be you, and you attract the right people. Sit down and keep it real with yourself. That's for anybody. Be you, be real, and you'll get what you need. But, you know, sometimes people don't keep it real with themselves, so... Ooh, my fan just fell. I'm talking a little bit too hard. And I'm not editing that out either, because that was good, okay? Whew. Let me take a sip of this water though. Hold on. I felt that. My bad, y'all. I'm breathing all hard. I can end the podcast right there. Have an epiphany on yourself. Stop having your epiphany on other people. Other people, they don't matter. It's all about you and your relationship with the Lord. I'm not worried about my brother's relationship with the Lord. I'm not worried about Arion's relationship with the Lord. I hope that they're in good standing with him. But at the end of the day, I want God to be proud of me and what I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm changing lives for real. That these people who are asking for advice are really changed by the things I say, and they apply it every day when I'm around and when I'm not around. They apply it to their lives a year later, 2 years later, and be like, you know what, Anthony said this, and it still stands to this day. That's what I want. That's what everybody should want for themselves. I have a homeboy. His name is Filippo. He's my coworker. And hope you don't mind me sharing this. I was like, bro, you are like so smart. And he was like, man, bro, I'm not that smart. That's what he said. I'm like, no, you're smart. You know, I try my best to, pour into him, because that dude is so smart. He's going to be on my podcast in the future. I'm just letting y'all know that. He is so smart and has good conversations. He can change somebody's life. Pour into people, because a lot of people, like, I feel like, okay, when I do my podcast episodes, I don't be completely confident that it's gonna be good or be played, but people pour into, be like, oh, that's the one. Oh, that podcast was good. Oh, I love that episode. You know what I mean? You know, so I like to hear that. So that's why I try to pour into him. Shout out to Filippo, first of all. That's my boy for real. That's my homie. That's my homeboy for real. He real cool and he has a good conversation, and I cannot wait till he be on my podcast, because I promise y'all, we both talk a lot, and that's good with me, because I like a person who can talk as much as me. If you can talk as much as me, when I get famous, you definitely gonna get some money just talking as much as me, because I like to talk. That's why I got a podcast. I've said this before, and I'm gonna keep saying it. But shout out to Filippo. I just had to throw that in there. We gotta pour into our friends and pour into people. Instead of taking from people and sucking them dry, running them dry, got the well running dry. Let's pour into people. Let's pour into people and give them their flowers and get them what they need, because we don't know what the next person is going through. But, you know, everybody ain't gonna have that kind of moment, because, you know, too many people don't like to have epiphanies and be real with themselves. The moment you start being real with yourself, I promise you, things will turn around. Things will change. I promise you. You just have to be honest, because God already knows. So go ahead and tell him so he can work with you through these things. I promise you. Only God will know. And he ain't going to judge you, even if it's embarrassing. I was embarrassed to tell God, I don't feel like I have enough faith right now. I don't even know how to have faith. I don't even know how to pray without my mind wandering. But God helped me with those things, and I pray easily now. Stuff still tries to come in my head, but I ignore it and I pray through it. I have faith. Definitely. But okay, I'm gonna keep it real, because it's my podcast. Now, it's better than it was last year, but I still struggle. You know, because sometimes it's hard for me to give, you know, my little 10% of my check. I'm just keeping it real. I feel like there's anybody, you know. But, you know, at the end of the day, all this ties into having an epiphany. I had an epiphany that, you know what, I need more faith. I had an epiphany that I was jealous of this person. I had an epiphany that I need to stop focusing on other people. I had an epiphany that I need to handle my money better. I had an epiphany that I need to start worrying about what's going on around me that has nothing to do with me and focus on me. All that ties into having an epiphany. You have to sit back and be like, you know what? It's time for a change. It's time for things to move in a better way for me. And I cannot change myself if I'm too busy worried about what the next person is doing, what he or she is saying, what he or she is thinking. No, it doesn't matter what he or she is thinking. The only thing that matters is what he, capital H, is thinking, and that's the good Lord above is thinking. That's it. Don't worry about the next person. They're not waking you up. Shoot. Dang. It be hard though. I'm telling you, it be hard sometimes. I'm worried about what the next person is thinking or saying. But it gets easy. Because you like, you know what? You know me. I be like, I'm a superstar. What would y'all say? Superstar. I'm a superstar. I'm a star. I'm a celebrity. Y'all better enjoy me while I'm here. Because once a guy elevate me to the next level, I'll be where I need to be, making money. I'm international superstar. Johnson is funny. Yeah. But I hope this episode touched somebody. I don't think I have anything more to say. Oh, it's been 30 minutes? Okay, good. We good. All right. Ooh, I feel kind of good. You know, it's 11:50 at night. It's a little early. I can still give me about 6 hours of sleep. So on that note, this is the end of another episode of Courtyard Shenanigans. Listen to me on Good Pods, please. My podcast charted at number 2 this past week. I'm coming for that number 1 spot, baby. You better watch out. But yeah, follow me and rate me on Good Pods. I'm also on Apple Podcasts. I think I'm on Spotify Podcasts. I'm not sure. Just Google Courtyard Shenanigans with Classy N. It'll pop up on Google. It'll pop up and it'll show me in my face and my handsome face and my nice lips and my burgundy do-rag. But yeah, and if you want to send a blessing, listen, you know my Cash App is Classy Ant 1997. Because I'm kind of craving a bag of hot fries, but I'm also craving a shake from Sonic. But see, that shake I had last night had my stomach toe up, so I don't know if I need it. But I'll do it on a Saturday because I ain't going nowhere on a Sunday. But yeah, I hope this episode bless somebody. And you know, keep it classy. Hey, give yourself time to just think to yourself and have an epiphany, a divine revelation, and work on yourself. Okay? I can't even do it. Dang. But yeah, I hope this episode touched somebody. And toodaloo. Bye-bye.